Have you ever considered plantain farming business in Nigeria? Plantain is an edible food that is very popular in the country. It is consumed in many forms including dodo and bole. Plantain can be consumed as a meal itself, as in the case of boiled plantain, or it can be consumed as an appetizer, as in the case of dodo. It is therefore not a surprise that plantain farming is very profitable in Nigeria, as the demand is very high. Like many other crops, plantain farming in the country can be a headache if you don't have someone who knows the ins and outs of plantain farming to hold your hands. Therefore, in this video, I am going to be showing you everything you need to know. That way, you'll be able to start a successful plantain farm and make considerable profits. But in case you're still wondering whether plantain farms are worth your time or not, here are a few reasons why you should start a plantain farm in Nigeria. So, why plantain farm in the country? And why is it profitable? It is high in demand because it is a nutritious food. Plantain is very nutritious. According to Healthline.com, a health-focused website, plantain contains vitamins A, B, C, as well as other important nutrients like carbohydrates, magnesium, fiber, potassium, magnesium, and protein. That is a major reason why plantains are very high in demand. So if you start a plantain farm in Nigeria, chances are that you will not lack a market to sell your produce. Another reason is that plantain is consumed all over the country. This is just like I said earlier, it is always in demand. Plantain is eaten as dodo, bole, boiled plantain, plantain chips, and even ground to make amala all over Nigeria. So it is a given that if you start a plantain farming business in the country, you will rarely lack a market to sell your plantains. Another reason is that there is a market to export to other African countries, Europe, and America. Obviously, plantain is not only consumed in the country, it is a popular food that is consumed as a meal all over the world. Additionally, plantains are used to create different agro-allied products all over the world. This means that if you decide to import plantain, you will also have a ready market you can sell to, provided that you have a way of storing the plantain properly until it gets to its destination to prevent decay. We'll talk about a step-by-step guide on how to start a plantain farming business in Nigeria. Now that you know why it is profitable to start it, let's delve into the details. 1. Research the markets. The first step to having a successful plantain farming business in Nigeria off the ground is by researching the market. It is important that you know ahead of time what goals you are trying to achieve with your plantain farm. Do you want to sell your plantain locally or internationally? Do you want to harvest your plantains and create a product like plantain chips or amala by yourself? Is there a gap in the market that no one is serving? You'll find all this out when you carry out your proper market research. One of the main reasons startups fail is that they are unable to offer a service that the market actually wants. They are struck with a novel and original business idea and they excitedly pour in time and resources into creating something that nobody wants. This is where your market research comes in. Market research allows you to validate your one-in-a-million business idea. It allows you to avoid mountain of risk, anxiety, and second guessing. It allows you to draw up a business plan that is tailored to your business idea. Speaking of businesses, have you attended the business clinic yet? The business clinic is a 3-day intensive training plus 1-month mentorship and handholding. We will take you on different courses ranging from operations management, accounting, legalities of doing businesses in Nigeria, strategy. We'll be teaching you how to draw up a business Canva model, how to sell like a pro, and use Canva to make designs for your social media pages. You will also be learning digital marketing. Isn't that great? For 3 days, we will bring in trained and experienced facilitators who have been running businesses for many years to come train you on these different courses. And during the mentorship, you can ask any questions that you want that are tailored specifically to your businesses. Now, we did not stop there. We also have the corporate training where we specifically train you and your employees. Perhaps you do not want the curriculum for the entire crowd and you want specific lectures for your own employees. The corporate training organized by Entrepreneurs.ng is just for you. We'll be taking courses on leadership that drives productivity among teams, driving business growth through operations management, driving customer acquisition and retention through customer service, creating a formidable business model and strategy, how to set up Facebook and Instagram ads yourself, effective email marketing operations, content calendar development for your social media platforms, how to create world-class designs using Canva, how to sell like a pro, and legalities of doing business in Nigeria. If this is what your employees need, then visit Entrepreneurs.ng/the corporate training to find out more about it. Or you can visit our marketing agency, get more customers, and grow your revenue. Give us a call on the number displayed on your screen, and let's help you come up with a strategy that will take your business from point A to point B. Do not forget to purchase the 35 women business ideas and step-by-step guides on how to start them. In this guide, you get 35 currently trending businesses, complete with this financial breakdown. Do you want a strategic approach on how to run these businesses? Do you want to know the currently trending businesses in the country? Then get this guide and you will get up-to-date businesses that you can start in Nigeria today and make good profit from them. We also have the Ultimate Legal Guide to Doing Business in Nigeria. The Ultimate Legal Guide answers 147 legal questions and comes with 7 free agreement templates for you to adopt and use for your business. Don't get into the bad side of the law. Make sure you're doing business correctly. Do you know how to get your tax identification number? Do you know how to register a limited liability company? There are certain things you need to know that will ensure that you run a business smoothly in Nigeria. So get the Ultimate Legal Guide to Doing Business in Nigeria. Visit Entrepreneurs.ng/shop to get your copy. And do not forget also to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification button, share with your audience, invite others, like, and make sure that you are a partaker of what we're doing on Entrepreneurs.ng. Alright, let's move on with the steps to starting a plantain farming business in Nigeria. Next is to create a business plan. After conducting market research for your plantain farm, it is time for you to craft a well-detailed business plan for your plantain farm in Nigeria. Business plans are important to businesses because they show the roadmap for a business. Creating a business plan for your farm will help you document your goals, your vision, your mission, your sustainability plan, and other important business information. A business plan is a breathing document that maps out the details of your business. A business plan covers what your business will sell, its structure, what the market looks like, how to sell the products and services, the funding needed, the financial projections, and the permits, leases, and documentation that will be required. With the information that you have gathered from your market research, you should be able to create a business plan that sets you apart from your competitors and helps you position yourself in the market. If you are at a loss for how to create business plans for your plantain farm, you can read our business plan guide on our website to create an amazing business plan. You can also access our free business plan template on our site also. Simply visit and type in what you need. Next, source for funding. Now that you have concluded your plantain farm market research and business plan, the next step is for you to source the funds to finance your farming. Unless you have land, you will need money to acquire farmland, and you will also need to spend on soil testing, buying the plantain suckers, managing your farm, and paying for labor when it is necessary. There are many ways that you can get funding to finance your plantain farm in Nigeria. Let's discuss a few. Bootstrapping. Bootstrapping simply refers to a practice where a business owner, and in this case the plantain farm owner, is responsible for the full financing of the farm. Typically, people who bootstrap must have had another source of income and saved up enough money to start the farm. Generally speaking, bootstrapping is the safest form of funding as it allows you freedom from the pressures of investors. Another way to fund is your family and friends support. This is another way to get funding for your plantain farm business, through family and friends funding. As the name suggests, it is a type of funding where family and friends support your plantain farming business by giving you loans that are usually interest-free, donating money, and sometimes helping you on the farm itself. Family and friends are your closest support system, so it's often advisable to turn to them for funding when you want to start your plantain farming business in the country. Next is loan. Sometimes your plantain farm business plan might require you to acquire large hectares of land to start the farm on a large scale. When you are in this position, you might need to take out a business loan to finance your plantain farm. Depending on your requirements, you can obtain various types of business loans. You might decide to take a small business loan from fintech loan companies, or you might want to approach a bank for a loan. The choice is yours. But before you take a loan, make sure that you have a plan to pay it back easily so as to avoid getting into trouble. Next is grants and funding. Another way that you can acquire funding for your plantain farm in Nigeria is by applying for agricultural grants and funding opportunities. There are always agricultural grants and funding opportunities in Nigeria that you can take advantage of. You have to always stay in the know to be aware of which grants and funding opportunities are open and how to take advantage of them. Now let's head back to the step of starting a plantain farming business. Buy or lease farmland. After getting your funding in place, the next line of action is acquiring land for your plantain farm in Nigeria. The profitability of a plantain farm is highly dependent on the size of the farm. This is because the more land you have, the more plantains you can plant. Therefore, you should get sizable farmland to start your plantain farming business in the country. Now, since plantain is a plant that needs a lot of water for growth, it is advisable that you get farmland in the forest belts of Nigeria. States like Ondo, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Delta, Edo, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom are known for their favorable weather for plantain farming. If you do decide to get farmlands that are not in these states, then you should plan to install irrigation systems on your farm to make up for the lack of natural water supply. Lastly, it's always better to buy your farmlands than lease them. But in a situation where you cannot afford to buy them, you can always rent or lease the farmlands. Next, test the soil. Now, I should have put this step before the step where you acquire your farmland, but I know that you may not have access to the land until you enter into discussion with the owner. However, you should do your soil testing before making the final payment for the land where you want to host your farm. Soil testing simply means testing a land to determine its nutrient and pH levels in order to determine whether the land is suitable for the crop you intend to cultivate. For plantain farming in Nigeria, loamy soil is the best kind of soil because it contains the right ratio of organic components. Testing the soil of your farmland will help you know if it is the right one for you. Next, prepare your land. Now that you have acquired your land and tested it for plantain farming, the next step is to prepare your farmland for planting. You need to clear the bushes, remove trees, stumps, and shrubs to make the soil tillable. After that, add the necessary manure and fertilizers to get the soil ready for planting. When preparing your land to cultivate plantains, make sure that you use a lot of organic manure. Next, get the right plantain suckers. To cultivate plantains, you need plantain suckers. Plantain suckers are smaller plants that grow from a mature plantain plant and can be transplanted and regrown. They may be considered as baby plants that are used to start new plantain plants. There are three major types of plantain suckers, namely maidenheads, sword suckers, and water suckers, but they are all good for planting. What you have to take into consideration when buying plantain suckers for your new farm is that operated suckers may be bad for you in the long run. Most times, these suckers are infected with diseases, which means that you will not enjoy a fruitful yield come harvest time. Instead, buy clean, cultured suckers that have been grown specifically to help farmers get the best yield. Next, plant the right way. How and when you plant your suckers is very important to the success of your plantain farming business in Nigeria. For example, the month of September has been identified as one of the best months to cultivate plantains in Nigeria. This is because planting in September will make sure that your plantains mature during a season when there is a scarcity of plantains in the market, thereby allowing you to sell your harvest at almost double the price on a normal day. Next, manage your farm rightly. After planting your suckers, you should not fold your arms and wait for harvest. You have to actually tend the farm. If you plant during the dry season, you will need to irrigate your farm regularly. Apart from watering your farm, you also need to weed the farm, apply pesticides as needed, and apply manure accordingly. Next, harvest your crops. Plantain take anywhere between 8 to 9 months to reach maturity and produce the first set of plantain bunches. When the plantain fruits fully develop, harvest your mature plantain and take it to the market. Kindly note that it is better to harvest plantains when they are mature but still unripe. Let's talk about plantain farming in the country. Where do you sell harvested plantains? Many farmers struggle with selling their harvested plantains in the country mainly because they don't have enough information. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a huge market for plantains in the country. All you need to do is fill that void and you will make good money. Here are some ways that you can sell your harvested plantain in Nigeria. Sell in the local market. The easiest way to sell your plantains is by selling in the local markets. The local markets are usually open markets where anybody can walk in and sell their products and goods. So the local markets should be the first place where farmers want to sell their products. Some of the popular local markets where you can sell your produce include Mile 12 markets in Lagos, Oyingbo markets, Bodija markets in Ibadan, Nnewi market in Anambra State, and a whole lot of others. You can also sell to agro-allied companies. This is another way to sell your harvested plantains. Some of the popular products that are made from plantain include plantain chips, amala, and so on. So if you want to quickly sell your product, you can enter into a business partnership with a plantain chip company to supply them with plantains when you harvest. Next, process your plantain to other products. Instead of selling your plantains to agro-allied companies, you can decide to process your plantains and make other products that sell in the market. For example, you can decide to start a plantain chips company and make more money than you would ordinarily make if you are selling the raw plantains. Plantain farming in Nigeria is very productive and a great venture to go into. However, many farmers have made losses by going into plantain farming without the right information. So, this video we have shown you is a step-by-step process for plantain farming in the country that will give you the maximum results if you follow properly. Are you looking for other profitable business ideas in Nigeria? Then get our research guide, the 25 Women Business Ideas. It is a strategic and financial breakdown of the most lucrative business in the country. You can also get the ultimate legal guide to doing business in Nigeria. You can get how to sell like a pro. We have different books for you to choose from. All you need to do is visit Entrepreneurs.ng/shop to pick you the one that best suits you. Patronize our different development services. We can help you write a business plan, a marketing and sales plan. We can help register your business, say your business name, a limited liability company or an NGO. We can also help trademark your business. We can write your company profile or profile it on our platform. How great is that? You can ask an expert. Do you have consulting needs? Give us a call today and let's help propel and move your business from point A to point B. Do you have any comments for us? Leave it in the comment section and we'll be glad to read and respond to you. To reach out to us, call the number displayed on the screen, send us a WhatsApp message or send us a mail. Whichever one works for you, do that now and let's be in touch. Keep track of all of our activities on social media. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook to learn more of our services and the great information we offer. Thank you so much for watching, dear entrepreneur. We hope it was worth your while. Till we'll see you next time. It's bye for now.